Now, when it comes to financial freedom, you come to find that there are some habits that you got to employ so that you can be able to become successful in this journey of financial freedom. Yeah, there are some of the habits that you find that you got to keep on practicing, or there are some disciplines that you have to involve yourselves with them so that you can achieve financial freedom. Because without these disciplines, then it becomes impossible for you to ever achieve financial freedom. It is not the amount of the money that you achieve, or it is not the amount of money that you get or accumulate maybe for the time that you are employed in a month or a year, but rather it is the habits and the disciplines that you incorporate around that get to help you to make a fortune or to get successful in this journey of financial freedom. And so this is Insightful Endeavors with Ian David, where we continually share insights on health, wealth, and personal growth. And if you are new to this channel, remember to subscribe, like this video, share it with your loved ones, and also leave a comment there down below so that we can get this conversation ongoing even after this particular episode. And again, remember to turn on that notification bell so that you may be notified anytime we get to upload a new video. And so let's get to look on these money habits that you got to incorporate, or these disciplines that you have to incorporate or employ so that you can achieve your financial freedom. And the first thing that we get to look at is on how you have to budget on your money. Like when we hear of this word budgeting, some of us, we get to become reactive, or we get to become we get to react in a negative way, like we feel like we are being limited on how we get to spend our money. But you come to find that having a budget is one of the best things that you could do to your finances, because if you do not have a budget, then it means that you cannot be able to account for every single coin, or you cannot be able to account for the amount of money that you are receiving maybe in a span of a day or a month or a year. You cannot be able to account for that money, or to tell wherever that money went to or what it did for you. Remember, for you to become wealthy, it is always important that you dictate to your money where it is supposed to go even before it comes. But if you wait for your money to come and then now you start figuring out where you're going to take it or what you're going to do with it, then you find that you get to lose your money. But if you have a budget prior before you receive your money, or if you have a plan, because a budget is simply a plan, like you have already planned what you want to do with your money even before you receive it, then you find that your money is going to work for you. But if you do not have a plan, if you do not have a budget, then your money does not get to work for you. It only escapes from your hands. And so today with me, I have some of the budgeting strategies that you could incorporate around with your finances, that you get to have your money work for you, and in the long run that you have some funds or some money in your pocket, and you won't be that person anymore who can't tell what you did with your money or where your money went to. And so we get to look at some of these strategies that there are some of the budgeting strategies that have been there in existence for so long. And because this is Insightful Endeavors, we continually share insights on how we can get to better ourselves. And so the first budgeting strategy that we get to look at is known as the 50-30 and 20% rule. So this is a budgeting rule that dictates how you should plan for your money, or how you should channel your money towards different types of needs and wants, and maybe savings and investments. So you find that with the 50%, it is money that is supposed to be channeled to your expenses. So these are the expenses, maybe the rent, the water, the electricity bill, the school fees, or maybe if you have kids, or such kind of things. Those things that you term as expenses, and that you got to keep on keep on paying these things every now and then, or every end of the month, or every after every end of maybe 2 months, or whatever time frame that you used to pay, you get to sort out these expenses. So with this budgeting rule, 50% is supposed to be channeled to those expenses. And now with the 30% is supposed to be channeled to savings and investments. Yeah, you channel this one to savings, to investments. And also, if you are that person who is already in debt, then you also get to channel some amount of this 30% to your debt. So because it is 30%, you can decide to subdivide it into three. Then 10% goes to your saving, 10% goes to your investments, and then 10% goes to servicing your debt. However you decide to play out with these figures around here, it is completely upon you. But the best thing is that you employ this rule, or this 30%, that it goes to your savings, to your investments and debt. Yeah, and that's how you get to sort out that particular part of your money. And the other remaining 20%, now this one is on wants, or the things that you can do without. Because wants, personally I define wants as things that you can do without. Like if today you were to go on maybe a job loss, or a salary cut, or like you no longer receive the amount of salary or the income that you receive within a period of maybe a month, and that salary is no longer there. These are the things that you can survive with. Or these are the things that you find that if you are walking in a street, then you see something, and you are moved to buying, but you had no plan for buying that thing. And again, even if you don't buy that thing, you still be okay. So those are the ones you just channel 20% or even less than 20% to these wants and leisures, because this is just a way of making you not to feel like you are being forced to only do other things with your money, but you don't get to appreciate yourself, or you don't get to have some good time with your money. So 20% goes to your leisure and wants and whatever, and all those nitty-gritties that revolve around with the need of finances. So you get to sort them out with the 20%. So we have said the 50% goes to your expenses, 30% goes to your investment, savings, and also your debt repayment, and then 20% goes to your wants, to your leisure, to church, to charity, all those things that you need to sort out. You sort them out with this 20%. Yeah, and that's the first budgeting strategy that you can get to incorporate with your finances and see what miracle it brings to your finances. Yeah, the second budgeting strategy is known as the zero-based budgeting strategy. So this is a strategy where you budget for every single coin, assuming you are that person who receives maybe a salary of 20,000 Kenyan shilling. You have now to budget on this 20,000 Kenyan shilling from the first single coin to the last coin that runs out of your hand. Like you budget for every single coin and give it specific a task that is supposed to do for you. You assign every coin to something that is supposed to, or to where it is supposed to be channeled towards. This is a strategy that can be used by those people. Maybe you find that your salary, maybe you have a salary that is not getting to serve you well. Maybe you have expenses that are way too high or above than the salary that you are earning. So you find that maybe you can cut on expenses, and then the amount that you have, then you channel that amount to every single expense that you have, every single want, everything you channel. You plan it within the amount of money you have. This is a strategy that you can get to incorporate. Again, with this strategy, you come to find that this is not a strategy that you can incorporate for long term. It is only a strategy that you can use in case you have had maybe a job loss, or maybe there is an emergency case that has arisen, maybe sicknesses, ailments, such kind of things that they have arisen, and then you have no way out of the particular struggle, the particular happening that is occurring at the moment. So what you do is that you can incorporate this zero budgeting strategy for the time being before you get back on your feet. Yeah, it's not an easy strategy to use, but again, if you ever find yourself in such a situation where you have no way out, and again you find that you have so much that is upon you and you are not able to sort it out, well, then you pick up on this zero based budgeting strategy that you can get your way through out of that maybe mess or out of that struggle. Yeah. And now we get to look at the third budgeting strategy. And the third budgeting strategy is known as the bone strategy, or the bare bone strategy. So this is a budgeting strategy that you get only to budget on the necessities alone, only the things that matter, or the things that are necessary for you to continue with your day-to-day activities, or for you to continue with your life moving on just as it is supposed to be. So here on this budgeting strategy, you eliminate every unnecessary things. You remove everything that is not supposed to be in your budget, or everything that you feel this one I can do without it. So this one again is a strategy that you incorporate or you employ in case of a job loss, in case of uncertainty, in case of an emergency, and you get to employ it just for a short time before you get back on your feet. And this is a strategy that you practice with things like delayed gratification. You feel like maybe there is something you could have done if you had money, but now on this particular occasion, because maybe of something that has happened to you that you didn't expect, you have to delay that gratification. Like you have to delay that want, you have to delay that desire, so that you can get yourself back to your feet on finances. So these are the budgeting strategies that you can get to incorporate and get to use them along the way and see what miracle they brings to your finances. Because again, we have said that it is not the amount of money that you accumulate that will ever help you to become wealthy. Rather, it's the habits that you incorporate, because you find that no one has ever saved their way to financial freedom. No one has ever saved their way towards wealth. Yeah, no one. It is through investments, and an investment, that is a discipline. And how you get to achieve to funds to invest, it's by you incorporating these budgeting strategies. All these budgeting strategies, they work, they are good. However, they work based on the terms or on the conditions that you are in. For example, if you are in a hard situation, maybe in the case where you have lost a job, or in the case of where maybe you have not been able to secure a job for a long time, or whatever emergency that has arose at that particular time, you find that the best strategy that you could pick up at that particular time could be the bare bones strategy or the zero budgeting strategy. But if you are already doing well with your finances, then the 50-30-20% budgeting rule could work well with you. But again, we always say that pick up all these ones, then put them on one table, get to look at them, find out which one works best for you, and then after that, pick the best and get to work with it and see what it does to your finances. Yeah. That's all from me today. I hope to see you on our next episode, and I hope that these strategies will get to help you, that we will see each other on the other end of financial freedom. So see you on our next episode. Remember to subscribe, like this video, share it with your loved ones, and also leave a comment there down below so that we can get this conversation going on. If you have any issues with your budgeting plans and budgeting strategies, you could always reach out to us, and we can get to have this conversation and even share more insights on how maybe you could get to go and move along with your finances. And so it's a bye-bye from me. Till next time, bye-bye.